Hey everyone, it is Tiffany here, and today I want to talk about a mindset tip. I've talked about this in other ways in the past, and I wanted to share a recent experience that I had to highlight this point. So I often talk about how your identity, what you say to be true about yourself, is what your reality becomes. And ultimately, it's because that's the thing that you focus on, right? If I focus on being a certain way, my brain is wired to win and wants to make me happy, so it will create more of that behavior or that thing. So I want to give you an example of something that happened to me over the weekend and just really highlight how this might be showing up for you in your life. Before I do that, I just want to tell you to go to rewiringmymind.com. I've got some goodies over there for you. So I was a little bit quiet on social media over the weekend. If you happen to notice, it's because I had this wisdom tooth come in and it caused all sorts of pain for me. My cheek was swollen. I've still got a little bit of chipmunkitis going on here, but it's mostly gone, which is awesome because if you saw photos from me from Saturday, my cheek was out to about here. So Friday night, the pain gets super intense, like so intense, it's the only thing that I can focus on. And as I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm in so much pain right now. Obviously, my focus is on pain. All of a sudden, a whole bunch of other things started hurting. So I went from where the tooth was rubbing against my cheek and my jaw hurting to this thing down here hurting. My whole jawline hurt. And then my back hurt. And then this place in my lower back hurt. And then my shoulder hurt. And all of a sudden I had all this pain. And I have a client right now who has fibromyalgia, which, if you're not aware, is general body pain along with some other symptoms that impair their ability to be productive and get the things done in life that they want. And I've been saying to her that while I understand that her fibromyalgia is 100% real, I want her to stop saying, I have fibromyalgia. Because the thing is, the way the brain works is that anything that comes after the word I or I am, our brain takes to be true. Our unconscious mind makes essentially a math equation from that and creates more of whatever that thing is. So if I say I am in pain, right, which is what I was doing Friday night, then I get this equation in my mind that I equals pain. The focus is on pain, and so my brain creates more pain, and that's what happened. I had to go to bed because I had so much pain everywhere. I couldn't sit in any position without aching absolutely everywhere, head to toe, because of this one wisdom tooth. Now, I have the knowledge and the knowing to know that because I was focusing in on pain, that's what I was getting more of. So I needed to change my focus. So I went to bed, I put on a meditation, and that allowed me to focus on something other than pain. It allowed me to focus on relaxation. With this client who has fibromyalgia, while I totally understand that those are symptoms she has to face, I also know that if she is telling herself every day, and this was somebody who was often, like multiple times a day, bringing up the fact that they had fibromyalgia, was telling the brain, I have fibromyalgia. Now, if you ask them, what is fibromyalgia to you? Well, it's body pain, it's fatigue, it's all these things that makes me unable to do what I want to do in a day. So her body was creating more pain, more fatigue, because that's what she was telling it. I'm not saying that changing what you say will completely get rid of the condition that you have. I'm saying it will lessen the symptoms. I have other clients who have type 2 diabetes, for example, who have stopped telling themselves that they're type 2 diabetic, stopped telling themselves what they can't have, right? I can't have this sugar, which then becomes the focus. You know how whenever people tell you you can't have something, all of a sudden that's what you want more of? Well, that's why, is because that's where your focus is on. So instead of focusing on what they couldn't have, this client who is a type 2 diabetic switched their focus to what they could have. They focused on being healthy. They stopped calling themselves a diabetic, and all of a sudden their numbers have improved into pre-diabetic range. So it's really important to be careful of what you say after the words I or I am, because you're telling your brain, you're essentially hypnotizing yourself to have more of that. So here's some examples. I am broke. You will act in the way that a broke person does, so that even when you get money, you're going to get rid of it because you identify as being broke. What are some other ones? I'm not successful, or it's hard, right? All of a sudden the focus becomes, it's hard, I can't do it, so therefore I just won't. I'm a failure. People who identify with being a failure, they rarely take risks. They hardly ever step outside of their comfort zone because they believe that they're a failure, so they just don't do it. Or they focus on, I always make the wrong decisions, so then they either wait too long to make a decision because they're afraid to make the decision. So by then, even the right decision has become wrong because that window of opportunity has passed. Or because they're focused on making the wrong decision, their gut will say do A and they'll do B, which ends up being the wrong decision. So we can think ourselves into failure. We can think ourselves into not accomplishing our goals just as easily as we can think ourselves into success, into financial abundance, into finding people who truly support us and love us and lift us up. Your thoughts are one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. I want to make sure that you are using them to get you what you do want, as opposed to keeping you stuck where you don't want. What you focus on expands. In everything that you say, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? I see this all the time with clients who tell me what they don't want. In sessions, in everyday conversation, what do you want? Well, I don't want a partner who cheats on me. Well, I don't want debt. I don't want these credit card companies calling me. Okay, well, that's what you're putting focus on, so that's what you're going to get more of. So let me help you rewire your brain. Head over to rewiringmymind.com, grab the free goodies I have for you there, and let's get your brain rewired so you can have everything you've ever wanted. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.